Hello, Santa Fe. I'm Carlene, and we're here at the Santa Fe Country Club to celebrate Breast Cancer Month, October. Every year, we have a specific organizations, we have guests, doctors, people that have been associated with cancer in different ways. We always have shows during the month of October, and this year is no exception. Okay, today we have our guest, everybody knows her, Gloria Martinez-Freestad. She worked for the American Cancer Society for 23 years. And now Gloria's working with La Familia, and you've been there 6 years.
Almost 6 years, almost.
But you're still kind of working with the American Cancer Society whenever you get recruited, don't you?
Absolutely. I guess because I'm so well known in the community that I spent so much time with the American Cancer Society, and really it was a love of a job for me. And I don't even call it a job because it was an experience that I'll never forget in those 23 years in terms of the people that I met and had an impact.
And you were executive director for the American Cancer Society in all of northern New Mexico.
Basically, yes. I actually wore, in the 23 years, I wore many hats, but one of them was definitely executive director for northern New Mexico, and then I went on to be major gifts director for a number of years, and then back into the community. So I wore several hats with the American Cancer Society, and it was all, I don't want to say an adventure, but it was really enjoyment.
Now, we have a lot of poverty in New Mexico.
Yes.
How did you reach out to these areas that are very small? They don't have any facilities. How did you reach out for breast cancer exams and this sort of thing?
You know, one of the things that I found was a direct impact was actually being in the community itself and talking to people directly. You know, going to that small community like Las Vegas and Raton and Colfax County, and just meeting with people. And really it was about education, you know, about the efforts of prevention, and education was number one. And of course, unfortunately for many of those rural communities, their medical centers are outside of their communities. So, you know, many times just talking to the community about building a support system, like for transportation, was very critical.
I see. Now, you did the Strides for years.
Yes.
And that was a huge group of women that came out for that.
Yes.
Many of them have died of cancer. In fact, one of our operations manager, Doreen, her very good friend June Elsa, passed on. And
well, and you know, that's when I talk about the impact, that to me is the human impact of knowing so many people within these communities, knowing the battle, the courage that they've had, especially when they've been diagnosed with cancer, breast cancer. When you think about the impact that a diagnosis of breast cancer has, not just on the person, but really you're talking about the family and the support system that they have, the network of families that they have. And so it's not just the patient that's being diagnosed, it's the family, because then the whole family has to group together and help support the patient, their mom, their sister, their aunts, you know, in this courageous battle.
okay, Gloria, do you want to give us just a briefing on a few statistics of breast cancer here in this state?
Yeah, you know what I did before coming here, I quickly looked at some of the statistics, because as you can well imagine, I've been out of the American Cancer Society now for 6 years, but my heart's still there with them. And so I looked on the national level, just on the national level, the estimated new cases is over 270,000 women. And that's just estimated new cases that were estimated to be diagnosed in 2019, which is this year. And then in terms of deaths, 42,000. And what a little fact that I find is always missed is that we talk about the women that are diagnosed with breast cancer, but we don't really talk about the number of men.
That's
And
right.
yes, and men do get breast cancer. I'm sure it's called something else, but we're looking at over 2,500 men in 2019 that were estimated to be diagnosed.
Well, that's some great information. Gloria, thank you for being on today. And you're here at the Santa Fe Country Club. We're going to have an event here. And I hope it's a big success.
I do too.
You have helped me out like you always do
I try.
with sponsors and the whole bit. So
Well,
thank you.
when Carlene calls you, you jump. That's exactly what I did.
Thank you
How
so
can I
much.
help?
And we'll be back, Santa Fe, in just a few minutes with some of the people responsible for putting this together. Okay, Santa Fe, we're back in action now here at the Santa Fe Country Club with two of the women that have helped put this event on. Marilyn Scargill, who is president, is that right?
The tournament chairman.
Tournament chairman, my gosh, I knew I'd get that messed up. And Joan Nordstrom, who's been on here before, she used to run our cameras for us when we ran out of cameras on Channel 16.
It was fun.
Marilyn, you have been playing golf for, how long have you been playing golf now?
I've been playing golf for about 16 years now out here at the Santa Fe Country Club.
Okay. And you are very active with the Women's Golf Association. Tell me how that came about.
Well, the Women's Golf Association at the Santa Fe Country Club, the WGA, has been in existence since this club has been in existence for 70 years. This is one of the best organized women's golf associations that I know of. And the Women's Golf Association this year has gotten lots of support from our management, our board of directors. We have a new board of directors who just want new things to happen out here. So our Women's Golf Association, who's very active, decided to put on this tournament for the first time we've ever done this in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
There are quite a few women with the Women's Golf Association that have either had cancer or have been in breast cancer treatment, quite a few of them.
Oh, everyone out here in some way or another has been touched by this horrible disease, and this is a way to that we believe that we can honor our sisters who have had to battle with this and have had a variety of outcomes, as we all know, but we wanted to do this to honor them, and we have had a tremendous amount of support this year. We hope we can continue it.
Okay, and I think you're going to get a big crowd out here. We're going to have a nice luncheon, 9 holes of golf, and prizes and raffles, all kinds of stuff.
And may I give one shout out to our friends across town, the Links to Marty Sanchez Links to Santa Fe, and they have donated many items for our tournament
Yes.
today.
Yes. In fact, Jennifer Richardson Romero is in charge out there, and she will be playing in this tournament. So I will also interview her too, because she was very gracious and very generous.
Okay.
Okay, Marilyn, I know you have a lot to do out there.
Thank you,
Should
Carly.
I let you off the hook and so I can
I've got to go
interview
take
Joan?
some money. Thank you.
My next guest, Joan Nordstrom, very good friend of mine. We've been playing golf together for how long?
We've been trying to play golf
Yeah.
together for about 15 years or so.
I have to say something about this group of girls I play with. I've had a lot of back problems, and it seems like they pick up the ball for me, they pull out the flags and do all kinds of nice things for me when I can't bend over to pick
I'd
up
do
the
anything
ball.
for you, girl.
And Joan is one of our survivors. And I'm going to tell you the story. How many years ago?
10.
10 years ago, we were playing golf. And Joan and I were riding together on the cart. And she said her back was killing her. And I said, well, you've been working too hard, because she was moving her mom here and there. And by the time we got to the clubhouse, you could hardly move.
Yeah,
Continue the story.
Well, I'll make a long story short and a big battle short that I was diagnosed with acute myeloid leukemia, and actually spent the first 32 days at St. Vincent's Hospital. Wonderful oncology unit there. Had 6 months of cancer treatment and would do anything to help fight this dreadful disease. And I did it myself when they told me it was impossible. With the help of prayer and friends and my wonderful husband, I beat it. And we need more advancement in cancer research. It's why I'm so involved with this tournament and was so happy to go out and get donations for us today and work on the other ways to remember those who have lost their battle, those who are still fighting the battle, and those who have won the battle. And that's important to me, to be totally involved today and make this an annual event.
Yes, and Joan, you've done a great job of surviving this. You had one of the worst forms of cancer, and you've done amazingly well.
It's amazing how the body can heal and how science can help you with that battle, as well as prayer.
And she's been one of the committee people that have helped out on this program. So we'll be back, Santa Fe. There are a few more people we're going to interview. Thank you,
Thanks,
Joan.
Carlene.
Back once again, Santa Fe, and we have 2 more members of the Women's Golf Association at Santa Fe Country Club that have put on this event that we're doing, fundraiser for the American Cancer Society. One of our guests today is Kay Holman, who has been on this committee, who is our auditor. And thank God we have an auditor and that takes care of all the money, because she's very trustworthy.
That's true.
And she's got a good background too. Tell us a little bit about your background.
Well, I'm a certified paralegal with a local law firm, Cuddy and McCarthy, and I'm president of the WGA this year. This is my 3rd time around. I'm very proud of the WGA because we try to support all the causes that we can possibly support. We work hard to do good things.
Yes, and you do. This is a wonderful group of women. That's a very diverse group. They're out here working their butts off all the time on some campaign that they have, and we appreciate it. It's a wonderful thing for Santa Fe. And Kay, thanks for all the work you've done on this committee today.
Thank you.
Okay, and I'll let you go now.
Thank you.
Margo Barta, another survivor. We just had Joan Nordstrom on. Now Margo is a survivor of breast cancer.
That's right.
Tell us the story.
Well, I found this little lump myself, and I said, my husband says, you get over to the doctor right away. And I said, oh, it's no big deal. So I get over there, and they said, oh, no, it's not a big deal, but we better take a exam anyway. And they did. And so I'm sitting at my desk in the bank, and I get this phone message, and I'm informed that I have a carcinoma. And I said, what in the world is that? And they told me it's cancer. I said, no way, absolutely not. And so, as the story goes, I did have cancer. I had a lumpectomy. I was lucky that I caught it early. And so I tell others that that's so important, and to do your self check constantly, every time you take a shower. And what the doctors, I just felt like I wasn't in an up mood, and I wasn't going to let this little critter take charge of me, get it out of me, and then I will help others that have symptoms and that are afraid. And so they wanted me to interview some of the gals that were going through cancer survival or cancer care, and then I thought, I need a lot of this energy to keep myself well, and they wanted me on a certain schedule, and I'm working, and so I wasn't able to do that. But I survived it. It's been over 20 years, and I'm very happy to be here. And so thank you very much.
And thank you, Margo, for sharing your story with us. And I have to say, she's one hell of a golfer, too.
She lies a lot.
And we appreciate you being here today and appreciate your support for the American Cancer Society.
Thank you.
Thank you, Margo.
She's wonderful.
We'll be back, Santa Fe. Santa Fe, I'm back with Linda Romero, another member of the WGA here at the Santa Fe Country Club. And thank you for coming to the event today. And I see you have all your pink on. And why did you do this?
I walk every year for cancer, for breast cancer walk. I have some friends of mine that have either had cancer or passed away from cancer, and I'd love to do the walk. They shortened it this year. It used to be a lot longer walk, but I really, really enjoy it. They do a lot of good things for a lot of people, and they have good entertainment, and it's just fun. The cheerleaders and everybody come out.
Do you do cheerleading?
No, I've never done cheerleading. I'm a football player. I did, as a matter of fact, when I was younger, I did powder puff, which was girls' football, but I didn't get into cheerleading. But they do that for the walk, and they do a lot of really good things. And they do like silent auctions, and they give aways. But it's so very important for the people, I think, to come out and really support cancer, any type of cancer. I know people that don't only have breast cancer, but have been fighting other battles with other cancer.
Okay, now, tell me some of the women that you support, some of them that have passed away.
Well, you know, being with the WGA, we've had, you know, some ladies that have had, cancer, like Annie Benson, and we've had other ladies that have passed away. I think I played with Kathleen McGee, and she passed away, and she was an avid golf. And I've had friends of mine and other families that have had pancreatic cancer. My sister-in-law's mother died of pancreatic cancer.
None of us get away from this earth without knowing somebody that has cancer in our family or our friends or wherever. My mother died of it. She was 49 years old. And it was pretty hard.
You know, the sad thing is that it has no age. It has no age. I mean, you can die at a very young age. I know a lot of them. At St. Jude, we are avid to send money to St. Jude. Every month we send to St. Jude because a lot of children, cancer doesn't have any age group. It's just so sad, especially the young children that have had cancer.
Do you have any last words to say to our audience about getting breast exams or making sure they get properly treated?
Yes, I recommend it. I'm pretty bad sometimes at getting mammograms. I put off sometimes, but with cancer, the way it's heading out right now, I think it's very important that the ladies go out and get their mammograms, or I know they don't like to do it especially, but once you do it, I think it's so important to keep up with it all the time.
It's very easy now. They have the new 3D.
Yes, that's what my doctor had said. She said that, and when I went in for a mammogram, I had to come back and do an ultrasound. So it's good to follow up, to have these other procedures done. And I think every woman should, I know you hate to do it, but you got to do it. I think that's part of what we should do.
It's a breeze.
Yeah, it's not.
Nothing to it.
It's nothing. It's not. I'd rather get a mammogram than a colonoscopy. So I said, go out there, ladies, and get your cancer screening than your colonoscopy.
Get them both.
Get them both, but it's not. It's a breeze more for cancer than it is for, get a colonoscopy.
I reached an age where they said, you don't need any more colonoscopies. I said, oh, well, I'm still going to keep up the breast cancer exams.
Yes,
So,
always
anyhow,
breast cancer.
it's absolutely necessary, Santa Fe, and I'll let Linda get back because she needs to get out there and entertain the troops. So
Oh, yes.
I'll see you in a few minutes.
Okay.
Thank you, Linda.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, Santa Fe. We're back again with Peta Stockdale,
Hello.
and it's
Peta, P-E-T-A.
P-E-T-A.
In Greek, it means to fly.
And you're very British, darling.
I'm glad you still think I have an English accent.
Oh,
but
yes, you do.
When I go home to England, they say, "Oh, Peter, you've got such an American accent now." So there we are.
Do you know the Queen?
I haven't met her personally.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm a great admirer of
She's
the
a
Queen.
wonderful person.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I wish all leaders were like the
Yes,
Queen.
she's amazing.
Okay.
She really is.
Peta, you're here today. Thank you for coming for the breast cancer awareness.
Yes.
You have also had a different form of cancer. Are you willing to tell us a little bit about it?
Of course. In 2005, I was diagnosed with colon cancer. And I had surgery, and they give you a 5-year period, of course, as you know, after the surgery. And you have to have your checkups, and everything was going fine until the very last checkup, and they said, "Uh-oh, we found something else," and they came up with liver cancer. So I had more surgery, more chemo, and that was in 2009, and 5 years have passed. And they said I was clear. And
Wonderful.
I have been ever since. A miracle.
Very frightening, both of those cancers.
Yes. I think I managed to keep a very positive attitude, and I have to say that in one way it changed my life, and I think out of some terrible things that happened to us, sometimes good things come out of that. And that's how I felt about my cancer.
How'd you end up in Santa Fe?
Well, I first came to the United States in 1962, met my husband over here, had 2 children, and he was director of the Lab of Anthropology up on Museum Hill. And so this was my first home after getting married in the United States. And my daughter was born here in Santa Fe. And I've been back and forth ever since.
Well, good.
And I came back permanently 6 years ago.
Well, it's great to have you in Santa Fe. You're a real wonderful addition to this town.
Thank
And you're a good golfer, too.
Oh, well, I haven't played for a long time, but I enjoy it very much.
I played with her at Quail Run.
That's right. We had a good time, didn't we?
We did. They drugged me all around the course. I was having trouble
Yes,
that day.
that's right. Well, golf
She
keeps you
remembers.
going, of course.
Okay.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Peta, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Hi, Santa Fe. I'm Carlene, and welcome to Living Santa Fe, getting that second opinion. And I have with me Dr. Larry Cohen, retired doctor from the Imaging Center.
Right, Santa Fe Imaging.
Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Let's see, I came here in 1973, and I practiced radiology for 33 years at the Imaging Center. In the last 16 years, I specialized in mammography. And had my children here, got my grandchildren here, and I got you here, Carly.
Oh, and you got Marilyn too, don't forget.
Oh,
Don't
I
get me
forgot
in
her.
trouble already. That's Marilyn's his wife. I played golf with her for quite a few years, and we had a great time. Dr. Cohen was our special guest today for the Women's Golf Association at the Santa Fe Country Club. We had a great turnout, a lot of people here. And Doctor, tell me 2 things women should do. for breast cancer or to prevent breast cancer?
You know, you can't prevent it. You can't prevent breast cancer. But you can detect it when it's little by having annual mammograms starting at age 40 and maintaining a schedule. The schedule is somewhat variable depending on who you talk to. I am a rather firm believer in obtaining mammograms annually, even after the age of 70 if you are in excellent health. If you have a coexisting problem and you're not going to live for 2-5 years, there's no need to get a mammogram.
Okay, well, I continue to get mine because my mother died of cancer. I don't think I had the BRCA, but I don't want to know, I guess. I'm doing pretty good, I think.
You always have been.
My mother died at 48, and I'm a few years older than that, so I'm not going to worry about that. But I do get my breast checked every year.
Okay.
Now, one other thing. Are you enjoying retirement?
I love it.
What do you do?
Well, I play golf poorly, and my wife and I travel a bit, play golf a little bit, play a lot of bridge, and we're with our kids and grandchildren. That keeps us busy.
I bet it does. And you're looking really good, incidentally.
I'm an old man, Carlene.
I like your gray hair.
Good.
It's very charming.
Where's yours?
I cover mine up. And will continue to cover it up until I absolutely have to. Anyhow, Santa Fe, thank you for tuning in to Channel 16. Thanks you, Doreen, for showing up at this breast cancer event. And one thing I have to say, Doreen's a real backer of our breast cancer program. One of her best friends, June Elsa, died here a few years ago, and we all took that pretty hard. So Doreen, thank you for everything.